Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. The session commences again. We're at it again, ding dong. So gather, skip to my loo. Let's do that dance yet again. That thing that we do round about this time is being done right now. One man went to mow. The eagle has landed.
Only water, only water, where they see ma. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí àkẹ́kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Chief Wáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìlé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìlé o. Petrosonama ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìlé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dìlé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní rí wa gbéṣe o.
And there you are. It's just been said. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀ ìgbàlà tẹ̀lé. Ikú kò ní rí wa gbéṣe. Ìgbàlà tẹ̀lé. So powerful, potent prayers by the K guys. So powerful, potent prayers by the K guys. As guys, I bring you this. Customs, Federal Aviation Authority of Nigeria, riot on Twitter over airport security corruption. So who gets to loot at the MURTALA MOHAMMED International Airport and the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport now? A battle between the customs and the airport authority that has now spilled over onto social media. So dirty fighting, customs, Federal Aviation Authority of Nigeria, riot on Twitter over airport security corruption. So there it is right there. That doesn't come especially as a surprise to you. But still staying within that airport space and matters corruption related. This staggers me somewhat. Thieves ransack Arix aircraft at Lagos airport, cut away vital system components. So, I mean, it's unbelievable. A plane parked on the tarmac at a high-profile airport. Thieves strolling casually and strip the plane bare. So, but this is not the first instance, of course. Remember, we did a story not that long ago about some mechanic that drove onto the tarmac and crashed into a flight that was coasting to land. So this is the goings on in Nigeria, just a barbarism at that every angle. Thieves ransack Arix aircraft at Lagos airport, cut away vital system components. So there it is. Nothing changes within the Nigerian space, but still are holding down on matters corruption related. This is it now. It is categorical and it is official. Nigeria, one of the, if not the most corrupt country on the planet. Nigeria ranks 154 out of 180 countries on Corruption Perception Index. So this is it now. So there's nothing now that redeems the Buhari administration anymore, because they straddled in under two mantras: insecurity and corruption. Nobody needs any telling tales of insecurity in Nigeria. You all know how the country is, and anybody that needs telling tales about corruption in Nigeria, well, here is the tale. Corruption ranks, well, I say corruption, maybe that's a Freudian slip. Nigeria ranks 154 out of 180 countries on corruption perception index. So there it is right there, cold facts from our international bodies, so nothing really to quibble about. So this now a story that we did somewhat yesterday, and the right to reply now we will take on today. So we're going to Abdulsalami, the former dictator of Nigeria, trying to rewrite history, but people pull him up short. Abdulsalami, culpable in our father's death, displays dishonesty. MKO Abiola'S family lambast ex-head of state. So there it is. We all just said it was a total nonsense yesterday, and the family involved come forward now today to corroborate that. Again, Abdulsalami, culpable in our father's death, displays dishonesty. MKO Abiola'S family lambast ex-head of state. So there it is right there. And we land on this one now, a human interest story. So a lot of you might not be familiar with this space, but this is a space that I somewhat follow. There's this lady called Jaruma. That's just her stage name. That's just a nickname. That's just the name she straddles on social media. She calls herself Jaruma Empire. She calls herself on social media, and she sells all these things like Kayamata, etc. But she's notorious for attacking people on Twitter and space, like on social media. And she's been especially going after Regina Daniels and her husband. So that's the backdrop to this. Aphrodisiac seller Jeruma remanded in prison. So whoever is familiar with that space, that's the latest installment. So we get to familiarize ourselves with just what is in play. But before we familiarize ourselves with anything, we come in now via what is our tradition, the Eastern Quarters, and of course, another Python dance.
Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi go onye do I more. O Mary woni nizu biroya abakare. Mamanda ora, unapuri meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapuri meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapuri meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, Python dance 3. Unapoli meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli meri Nandi.
There you are, voices from the East. Nnamdi wins the war, they insist. Python dance, Nnamdi wins the war. So Nnamdi wins the war, as guys I bring you this. Customs, FAAN, riot on Twitter over airport security corruption. The Nigerian Customs Service and the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria have taken to Twitter to vent what appears to be intra-agency friction against each other. FAAN had reported that custom officers forced a closed door open at the airport security reserve area, breaching its security protocols whilst threatening to beat up FAAN's officers at about 17:45 hours on Thursday, January the 20th, 2020, whilst the AVSEC officers on day duty at Gate 3 let me take that entirely all over again. The Nigerian Customs Service and the Federal Airport Authorities of Nigeria have taken to Twitter to vent what appears like intra-agency friction against each other. FAAN had reported that custom officers forced a closed door open at the airport security reserved area, breaching its security protocol whilst threatening to beat up FAAN's officers. At about 17:45 hours on Thursday, January the 20th, 2022, whilst the AVSEC officers on day duty at gate 3 were profiling a NAHCO vehicle that wanted to access the security restricted area via gate 3, the customs area controller for Hajj and cargo terminal suddenly emerged and pulled off between the NAHCO vehicle that was being attended to, said an FAAN statement shared on Twitter. It added, and CSC Agunbiade and CSC Agunbiade, a customs officer on the area controller's entourage, later shoved aside the AVSEC officer at the gate, forcefully took over the gate and opened the gate for the controller and his escort to forcefully access the security restricted area via the gate. According to FAAN, whilst accessing the gate, the armed escort to the controller threatened to beat up AVSEC officers at the gate if they dared resist their assault and breach of security. FAAN further claimed that the bearing of firearms by custom officers emboldened them to disregard airport security protocols. This blatant abuse of the privilege of bearing firearms by the NCS has become a recurrent threat to the safety and security of our staff and our operations. FAAN explained further, whilst we keep on working to resolve all our challenges decisively, we hereby urge all stakeholders to please respect our mandate by being disciplined and professional conduct in the interest of national security and operational safety. However, the custom responded via Twitter to FAAN's claims, alleging that the restricted security area might be a smuggling route, saying that a gate is restricted to customs in an international cargo airport shows lack of understanding of NCS's roles. Could it be that the gate is being made available for smugglers? Custom tweeted. So it's unbelievable, Ijaigboro at the international airport. This is the Nigerian system, of course, just brutality and brute force, So I don't know. Is that lack of synergy or battle for corruption? This clearly a bit more categorical. Thieves ransack Arik aircrafts. Thieves ransack Arik's aircraft at Lagos Airport, cut away vital system components. There has been a major security breach at the MURTALA Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, correspondent Gada. An Arik aircraft, a Boeing 737 with registration number blah blah blah, was ransacked by thieves who stole the flight management computer, one of the major subsystems of the flight management system. The flight management system is an onboard multipurpose navigation performance and aircraft operations computer designed to provide virtual data and operational harmony between closed and open elements associated with the flight, from pre-engine start and takeoff to landing and engine shutdown. The FMC, according to aviation experts, is worth hundreds of thousands of US dollars. Reliable sources at the airport and ARIC confirmed to correspondents that the incident happened between 11 p.m. on Wednesday night to 7 a.m. on Thursday night, January the 20th, 2022, at the domestic Terminal 2. The thieves did not only vanish with the FMC, but also tampered with the pilot's static cover and other sensitive parts of the aircraft, making it impossible for the aircraft to be flown. Aviation experts told correspondents that the act could only have been carried out by persons with aircraft technical skills. It is impossible for a novice to have successfully removed the FMC. That thing was stolen by an expert, one aviation source said. Flights originally scheduled for the aircraft were either cancelled or postponed. The aircraft was leased to Arik by Esnis Airways LLC, an airline based in Mongolia. Authorities have since suspended flights on every of the aircraft leased by the Mongolian company. Breach of security at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport continues to raise concerns among citizens and major stakeholders in the sector. There had been reports of security breaches at the car park in recent times, with vehicles parked at the facilities reportedly being vandalized. Recall that correspondents had detailed how security at the domestic terminal of the airport appeared compromised as faulty equipment were being used to screen bags of travelers making use of the airport. It was also discovered that security scanners deployed by the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria to MMA Terminal 2 are not certified by the National Civil Aviation Authority to carry out the screening. In 2019, there was an airside incursion at the airport as passengers aboard a Port Harcourt bound flight panicked after a man climbed the aircraft whilst it was about to take off at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Ikeja. According to a video shot by one of the passengers in Lagos, the man illegally gained access to the airside with a piece of hand luggage. Correspondents had also previously reported how a Nigerian woman bypassed all security points at the international wing of the airport and attempted to sneak into a United States-bound Delta airline recently. She was, however, arrested by security as she was about to board the aircraft. It was reliably gathered that of the not less than 629 staff of FAAN Aviation Security at the Lagos Airport, about 85 security personnel are NCAA screener certified. So there you have it. I don't know what quite that last paragraph means, but that's unbelievable that people could actually go onto a tarmac and strip out the price components of an aircraft and walk away casually. So this is just, it's just, I don't know what to think when you think about the Nigerian space, but I can deliver to you what goes on, and what goes on is what we're hearing. Nigeria ranks 154 out of 180 countries on Corruption Perception Index. So this catches nobody as as surprise or off guard, Transparency International has released the 2021 Corruption Perception Index globally, placing Nigeria 154 out of 180 countries studied methodologically. The results, as released by the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, represented uh, 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 Center's representative in Nigeria on Tuesday in Abuja, revealed that Nigeria scored 24 out of 100 points in the 2021 CPI, falling back 1 point compared to the 2020 CPI. Executive Director, CISLAC, Anwar Musa, explained that corruption in Nigeria has greatly contributed to the nation's underdevelopment. He said despite successive governments claiming to fight corruption, job opportunities, driving license acquisitions, passport applications, amongst others, were still fraught with corrupt tendencies, especially as officials in charge of these basic services expect some form of kickback whilst rendering such duties. Transparency International also claimed that corruption was responsible for rising insecurity, high unemployment rate, and systemic failure in healthcare delivery and leadership dysfunction. The CPI aggregates data from 8 different sources that provide perceptions. The CPI aggregates data from 8 different sources that provide perception by country experts and business people on the level of corruption in the public sector. While the index does not show specific incidences of corruption in the country, it indicates the perception of corruption in Nigeria. The index is a the index is a completely empirical, objective, and globally acknowledged. The index is completely empirical, objective, and globally acknowledged as the most widely used cross-country parameter for measuring corruption. The Transparency International representative in Nigeria stressed. So there you have it. It's just it doesn't catch anybody as surprised or off guard, as I said, but still, it still makes for sobering reading. Abdulsalami culpable in her father's death displays dishonesty. MKO Abiola'S family lambast ex-head of state. The family of late Chief MKO Abiola has tackled a former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar retired, over his claims on the death of the acclaimed winner of the 1993 presidential election. Abdulsalami had, in an interview with Daily Trust, claimed that Abiola was not killed and he only died after falling ill, contrary to the popular reports that he was poisoned. Jamiu, one of the children of Abiola, said the former head of state denied their father proper medical attention, hence his death. Whilst expressing disappointment over the retired military leader's claims, Jamil said, "This incident happened over 24 years ago. General Abdulsalami is much older. I used to think that age would come with more honesty, but this obviously is not the case here." He, Abdulsalami, said that unlike late General Sani Abacha, he made arrangements for the family of my father to see him. Can anyone first of all ask him why it took almost a month for any family member to see him? Other political prisoners were being released all along, but yet a visit was too much to ask for. When we speak of death, one can be liable in 2 ways. If you kill a person directly, like in the case of my mother, who, as you know, was shot by Sergeant Rogers, acting on behalf of the then military government, or if you kill someone indirectly by allowing the person to die, as in the case of my father, during General Abdulsalami. It will be recalled that Kudirat, one of the wives of late Abiola, was killed on June the 4th, 1996 by assassins suspected to be military. Jamil further said, trying to pin down my father's death on poison will be a waste of time since there was an autopsy report and it did not say poison as the cause of his death, even though it is still a possibility. But my father did have heart problems, and the head of state knew that. The general public knew that. Even those who saw him the night before his death said he was not well. So why was he not given proper medical attention? Reacting to General Abdulsalami's statement that God's guidance helped him to handle the tense situation in the country at the time, he said, God provides guidance to those who seek it, but those who do not will be guided by the devil. In this case, the general was not being guided by God. If he was being guided by God, why did he allow the then United States Secretary General Kofi Annan to see my father before any family member? Did my father even know who Kofi Annan was? My mother had been murdered in cold blood. Would it not have been the priority of a head of state, being guided by God, to allow her children to see their father after such a tragic loss? We were never allowed to see him. General Abdulsalami was more interested in getting diplomats to talk to my father and persuade him to relinquish his mandate so that he, Abdulsalami, could enjoy a more legitimate stay in power. The world might be a circus to the former head of state, but let's see what the hereafter has in store for him. So there you have it, the Abiola response to the nonsense spoken by Abdulsalami. So we land finally on this one. We make this one the last one. Aphrodisiac seller Jeroma remanded in prison. So I don't expect too many people to know too much about this, but this is a space that I follow. Controversial aphrodisiac seller Hawa Saudu Mohammed, popularly known as Jeroma, has been remanded in prison custody. She was arraigned on Tuesday at the Upper Area Court, Zuba FCT Abuja, by the police on 4-count charge of defamation of character, injurious falsehood, criminal intimidation, and publication of false news with intent to cause offense against the public peace. During the hearing, she pleaded not guilty to the charges. Her counsel made an application for her bail, but the presiding judge, Honorable Ismaila Mohammed Jabrin, made an order for her to be remanded in prison custody till Friday, the 28th day of January 2022. Meanwhile, the substantive case will be adjourned to the 23rd of the 2nd, 2022. So that is that lady's battle then with the Regina Daniels family. So there it is right there. Charlie Boy, I see you, and Vin, I see you. So good to see you both, gentlemen. All right, somebody's asking for the link. So let me send. So good to see you both, gentlemen. And let me go first to Charlie Boy, who's always pushing to be first. So Charles, are you there? Charles, are you there? Come on, Charles, man, stop in a yam yam. Charlie Boy. Okay. No, I don't. I think Charles has gone to do whatever it is that young people do. I don't know what he's doing. No, you know, all these young people, they are so dangerous. I don't even want to know what they do in most instances. But to you then, Vin, thank you for being here. So to Nigerian space then, I mean, we could just go from now to the end of time, corruption narrations about the Nigerian space, to the point now that the customs are fighting the airport authority to over who gets to control corruption portals at the international airport. to the point that they are taking this fight to the Twitter space. What are you making of this level of ludicrousness?
It's highly disturbing, one man. You see, it is highly disturbing that people that I know assigned with the duty of protecting. I think customs and the fan security, operative have their rules spelled out in that particular, airport. The Murtala International Airport is the first, that is the gateway into Nigeria from the air. So whatever that happens there portrays Nigeria the way Nigeria looks like. You see, if people, there are breach of, security in that highly respected facility in Nigeria, then I do not know where else that is safe in Nigeria. I don't know where else that is safe in Nigeria. This has to tell you the battle of supremacy and control, which is notable in Nigerian system. The custom, what is the duty of the custom? And what is the duty of the fan security operatives? They have clear, demarcations on where to operate so that no one will at least step that over, step into the
Do you think
path of another.
do you think custom officers should be carrying guns?
Yeah, of course. In real sense of it, I do not. For me, I believe that they are, as far as I know, they are categorized as paramilitary, and the paramilitary are, they have the civil responsibility, to secure in line with their constitutional mandate. But depending on the how do I call it, the notorious nature of that country and elsewhere, they are allowed to carry arms, to bear arms. But for me, I don't believe that a custom officer, is supposed to bear arms, in my opinion.
Because it was actually the head called Ahmed Ali, his name is, that fought for that right.
Yeah, it was a
And
former.
I'm,
It was a former colonel, I think, former colonel, and the former military administrator of Kaduna State, as a military police officer, though. Yeah.
yes, he fought for that right for them to bear arms, and I'm not sure that they should be bearing arms. You know,
Yeah.
if they need, if they should rather have a multi-agency team where arms need to be used to enforce a space. So in that sort of space now, they do their duties, but they have a police retinue or something in situation just to enforce. But they're not. What's the? Why should they be bearing? They shouldn't be bearing arms now.
In my opinion, I said they should not be bearing arms. But you look at the, how volatile the Nigerian system is, especially the border areas, how notorious these guys are, and how, let me say, offensive they have become. So that was the reason why, in a Nigerian case, they always look for a loophole, to actualize their intention. And that is exactly the excuse Hamid Ali gave that time, that these smugglers are becoming so violent, and they find most of, in fact, I do agree with him. Most of the custom officers, got killed within those periods. There are many of them that that were killed within those periods, and that is the reason why they were allowed to bear arms. But for them now to begin to overstep their bounds in farm,
Should the
I don't
customs
think that is
be
necessary.
Should the customs be operating in the mainland? Because this is something that we're seeing as well. So in the mainland, not at the border areas, we are hearing incidents of customs stopping people on the streets, asking to see documentation either for their vehicle or for their
Even in
cargo.
the car parks.
Should that be the case? Because their remit ends at the border, they are not the police. So why are we experiencing this phenomenon that the customs are stopping people on the streets to check documents for cargo? Is that
That
not even an illegal act?
that is just the excesses of some of this, especially on the side of the custom. There was a time I heard that people that clear their cars from the port, these people goes These people go to their various car parks and begin to demand for certifications, for those vehicles. Vehicle that has been properly cleared. Why are you coming to the car park set for sale? Why are you coming to the car park to come and look to verify those? Because I don't just know the reason why everything that has to do with Nigeria, they do it upside down. Things that are being done in good faith and in line with the normal let me say processes is being twisted in when it comes to Nigeria. I don't just know. You see, that is what the controller himself supposed to explain to Nigerians. Why are they? Where are the specific place the customs supposed to be? If you ask me, in my own opinion,
You,
I
you
will
know, you
tell
know,
you that it
we
is in the border. It is in the
yes.
border. That is where the smuggling is taking place, not in the hinterlands.
You know, we've even heard of instances of our custom agents, our officers storming car showrooms to
Yes,
demand
they did
import
it in
license.
Abuja. They did it in Lagos.
Did
Yeah,
they airdrop the cars into the country? Was it airdropped? Were you
I
not at
don't
the
know.
border when the car was coming in? So what
You
business?
see,
Why you? What? It's just an illegality, isn't it? But then
you
of
see, it
course,
is that is gross illegality, and that is what is going on in Nigeria. When people say it, they say it's Nigerian system. Nigeria is peculiar, and things that happens in Nigeria is peculiar. They are not far fetched, from all these things that we are experiencing. We are here. Most of the things that goes on in most of the things that go on in that country, when you hear them, my brother, it will sound like Greek into your ears. You
yeah,
see,
but
I
that is
don't
what
see.
makes it peculiar though. You don't hear things
Yes,
like this going on even in the most useless country. They
of
still don't go
course.
this low. It's only
Yeah.
the lowest things you hear in Nigeria. There's things that you would not hear anywhere else on the planet. You hear it in Nigeria.
It's power drunk. People, they just want to exercise superiority over. When the army was there too, during our time, the army like to, tend to exert their superiority over the rest. But in this case, in this democratically democracy, I believe that the police has their role to do. Is the paramount. That the security outfit that's supposed to be in between the government and the people. So that is how I say it. But for this custom, I believe that their duty and area of
Vin,
responsibility.
are you trying to convince us that you've not mounted a roadblock before to do waiting you carry? Are you
Yes,
not are you not an officer?
yes,
Have you done waiting you carry before?
yes, I did. You see, let me
Look
tell
at
you. You
that.
see,
Are you
no,
did you
no.
not collect? Did you not collect? You collected now.
No, you
Oh,
see,
come on.
when I told you that my reputation is, I try to protect my name and my interest, my integrity as well. Although most people doesn't know much about me out there. You see, during while I was in a place they call Brenengwari, it is a road that leads Kaduna, I think, all the way to Lagos. That is, if you are going to Lagos, that is the road you pass, Brenengwari Road. It was notoriously, filled by armed robbers at that time. That's a 1990, 2000, 2001 when I was there. I was there. Yeah, that was I was in Nigeria that time after my operation from Liberia. So I had opportunity to be on the road, and it was a joint, let's say a joint operation with the police. There was no customs, there was no immigration there. It was just pure army, air force, and the police. So we had, when you come to you, it is a stop and start. I will search you or give instruction for people to check your vehicles. They will check your vehicles, and if we don't get anything, man, off you go. When we get something there, when other people, the only thing, the time I took something from people was when they give you, they come, they will buy pure water and they give to you, and they come, they will buy, the villagers will come and give you fura de nunu and some other thing, these local eggs, they boil it, they bring it for you, the Fulani ladies and the
Which
women.
you've traveled the expats of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Which regions has the best village life?
Well, The best village life, I wasn't, I was not in the West.
Yes.
I've never, yeah, I didn't serve in the West. All those 18 years was just
Mm,
in the North corner. So,
mm,
but I have a lot of friends from the West. Most of my
mm.
2ICs and the ones I work with,
No,
a whole
describe
lot of,
your own experience. So you are from the east. You've
mhm.
spent a lot of time in the north. You are a
Mhm.
soldier, so you've gone into the interlands. So just how what just from all of your experience, what was the best village rural life that you encountered in Nigeria?
If not for the fact of, if not for the, the problem of, let's say the communal problem that was going on in southern Kaduna and Lafia, southern Kaduna and part of Nasarawa State, Lafia were the best, because once they see you there, the people, no matter what happens, they will begin to come to you. They will give you water. They will give you infra, the nunu. In fact, they will feel at home seeing you around them. These were the people that I mingle with. And when you go to Yobe State, Ngru too, then you will see the same thing, because those in that period, these excesses of banditry and terrorism were not there. It was just mere armed robbery case, stealing, and so on and so forth. But these people were very, very good to me. I have never been to Yoruba land, but if I should have been to Yoruba land too, with what I experienced with those Yoruba guys that were with me, it could have been a great, a great experience
Where
to
where where,
behold.
did, where would you say you experienced the most kindness, the
It
nicest
is
people?
in southern Kaduna, that is in Kaduna State.
Okay. And
Yes.
do you want to describe their rural? They have a hamlet system there, don't they? They live in
Yes,
hamlets. So do you want
it's
to
just
describe how that is? What's the structure
it,
of the?
yeah, the normal hamlet where in the villages, but you will not see most of concrete houses. You see mud houses and the thatch house over the place. Very cool and very conducive of a normal village settlement.
And what is the structure of their village in terms of hierarchy and role
Okay,
designations? So how is it
yeah,
structured, and who does what?
especially in that southern Kaduna area, you have the chief, you have other people they call the alkalis. The alkalis are the mediators, but they have their paramount chief that's that coordinates the people within those hamlets. It's just a beautiful thing to behold, and they live a quite easy life.
You know what you are describing? I've been to Abuja once, but I've never really been to the north. But what
Okay.
you are describing is my imagination of their life. That is why growing up, I've always thought, I would prefer to live in Jos. Is really, I don't know why I was fixated on Jos,
Look, let me
but
tell you why you like
I've
Jos.
always hoped to live in.
Eh,
Not now, of course.
you need
Yeah.
to, yeah, Oma, you need to go to Jos. Jos, if there is any place snow will fall in Nigeria, that place will be
Yes,
Jos.
that's why they said snowfall falls there. I think that was what. Yeah.
Yeah. If there is any place you will experience snow, in Nigeria, Jos is the perfect place where you will get it, because that place. And when you look at the missionaries that stayed in the north, most of them were in that particular place. And if you look at the migration of the, let's say, the old southern Nigeria into the northern part of Nigeria, most of them settled in Jos Plateau State. That Jos Plateau State was just, I consider it as a stepping ground for old southerners that were coming into the northern part of Nigeria. They are highly accommodating, and
Mm,
their hospitality is very, very great.
mm.
Just, and they were Nasarawa State and
What are
Jos.
their
They
people?
were together.
Who populates there? What are their people? And what is the
Hmm,
dominant religion and culture?
I think they have so many of them that I cannot even, but the one that strikes into my mind is the Lantern people. The
Yes.
Lantern people in Jos. The Lantang people.
Langtang that's a region, isn't it? Because
Yeah, it's a tribe.
I
It's a
remember there
tribe.
was a Langtang gang in the army during
Yeah,
the
it
Buhari.
is a tribe. It is a tribe in Jos. So I think part of them is in Jos, part of them is also in Nasarawa. I'm not too sure about that, unless somebody that comes from there will tell us more about that. But the Lantam people are the people that I worked with, and there are numerous of them when I was in the military. The rest were just a few of them, but I believe so. I believe so. The Lantam people, make up most of that, Plateau State.
And what did you make of what did you identify as their source of income, and what did you make of the landscape, the topography of the place? So their source of income and the topography, the landscape.
The landscape, like the south, like the plateau. Let me use plateau as an
It's big
example.
rocks, isn't it? Is it just big
Yeah,
rocks? Yeah.
the topography is more of a rocky, and the soil itself. But they are agrarian. It's an
Mhm.
agrarian community. They farm all kinds of things: maize, millet, what do you call it?
They
So
have
many of them.
strawberry. They have strawberry there, don't they?
Yeah,
Strawberry.
yes, I think they have carrot, they have sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, they have tomatoes, groundnut, pepper, name them. It's just pure agrarian community. And they also keep, when you go to the Fulani settlements, you see them with their cows, with their dairy products, and so on and so. It's
What,
if
what, what
not
was the
because
relationship then? The sub-ethnic mixes that composed that place. What was their
you, with
relationship when you were there?
with my own knowledge and my own experience, there were no major crises happening. That was 1990, 2000, and 2001. Although there are few of them, but when you look at the Fulanis that were staying with the indigenous people, you see, clashes coming out. So this thing just came out all of a sudden in the blue, and people, begin to talk about them, and killings and shedding of blood is all over the place. Before this time, you hardly hear. You only hear of religious problem. You hear of let's say, yeah, border clashes and so on. But it's not as rampant as what we are experiencing. They are experiencing now in that particular areas.
Okay. Before I take you back to the politics, if you were to pick a spot to live in Nigeria, both then and now, so both when you knew it and you traveled the expanse of the country, both when you traveled the expanse of the country, and now that you know what you know, so what will your choice be then and now?
I will, even till tomorrow, if not because till tomorrow, when I see myself in Jos, it's like I am in Upper East region in Ghana and Abia State in Nigeria. I will feel homely in Jos, Plateau State, because they are
Above
very,
Land.
I'm telling you, they are very, very good.
You
If
know,
there is any
I've
other
never
place,
been, but I sort of agree. I just have a romantic
it
thought
is
about
very,
Jaws.
you
Yeah.
see, you can just check, you can just Google and check what I'm telling you today. And just Plateau State is one of the best place in the northern Nigeria that you can live in. Very peaceful, and they are non-violent people. They are non-violent people. They are non-violent people.
What's the dominant religion there?
Majority of them are Christians. Majority of them are Christian in Jos. Majority of them are Christians.
Okay, thank you. Let me take you back then. I started you off. Nigeria ranks 154 out of 180 countries on
Mm.
corruption perception index. So these are the latest figures now. And every single year since Buhari comes in, Nigeria drops further and further. Out of 180, Nigeria is 154. So what are you then making then of this, set against the backdrop of what trumpeted, heralded Buhari in anti-corruption, insecurity? So now, what do you make of that?
My brother, you see, what happens is this. You say 154.
Yes, out of 180.
Please, just hold on for me. Let me get this thing sorted out. Man, but you'll be working also. So, my brother, you see, 154, right?
And Ghana is 73, by the way, because I saw you asking.
Yeah, I say, what do you expect? What do you expect, one man? Nigeria was not there before. Nigeria never experienced this. In fact, you see, Nigeria defies the law of, the law of gravity. It is said that what goes up must surely come down as long as it's within this surface and gravity is acting onto that body. But in Nigeria, as long as it's going up, they never come down. And I shudder to ask myself, what is the cause of all these problems? When Goodluck Jonathan was there, people were crying that there's a lot of corruption, gargantuan corruption going on, and Goodluck Jonathan is not doing anything. Most of the political oppositions use it as a campaign slogan that that man is a woman. He cannot take care of Nigeria. He cannot take care of the corruption that is going on in Nigeria. Every decantum is stealing. Then the APC came as the messiah we were seeing that time, based on what they were telling Nigerian people and the world, that they are going to kill corruption, that they are in a situation where you cannot kill corruption. Corruption will kill the country. Then Nigerians voted these people into power to come and find out the solutions of tackling corruption. What did they do when they came in? They started the only thing they have done is blame gaming. They are playing the politics of blame game. They blame everybody. They blame insecurity. They blame the problem in Libya. They blame, in fact, Goodluck Jonathan. When you ask them now, how they will tell you, say, the crude oil was so amount of money. What did you do with it? Yes, they did not do anything. That was the reason why Nigerians voted them out and placed you there to solve those problems. But instead of them solving the problems, they are exacerbating the problems. That is just the unfortunate situation Nigerians has found.
And this is
and
the
it
worst.
is not telling good about Nigeria outside.
And this is the worst, by the way. This is the lowest that the country has ever been.
The lowest the country has ever had from independence.
This is data-led something. This is empirical evidence. So nothing this is just an international body that sets parameters and then crunches the numbers based on their check-ins to then come up with the index. So this is not PDP or anything. This is internationally number 154 out of 180. I wonder which country is actually worse than Nigeria is the question.
It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame, bro. It's a shame. I don't know what to say concerning this issue right now because I
thought you'd be boasting, you know.
Oh no, I'm not boasting because you see, they said when the eye cries.
No here in Ghana.
No, whatever that affects the nose will affect the eyes. So it's part of me. Whatever that happens there is also happening to me. That's how I see myself, my brother.
All right, just to deviate what is going on in Burkina Faso, because it looks as though another military coup in another African country.
Yes, I am keen, very keen with what is going on in that very place. President Kabore has been overthrown. I think that was day before yesterday. The boys in Kake has seized power in that place. You see, what is happening to these people is this. When this, I do not know. In fact, I do not know what that man did to, for this army to come in now. I don't know. But you see, when you look at Guinea, Conakry, and Mali, those ones, in fact, I can tell you that, yes, I am either here. I'm on the side of the military. And I will also blame AU, the ECOWAS, and the United Nations themselves, because they will see the civilian head of states perpetuating evil on their people, overstaying on that seat as if the presidential seat is just their family, enterprise. And the interests of the people are not taken care of in social amenities, and in their security and whatever. They cannot. But
are you anticipating the same thing for Uganda with Museveni now going on 40, 50 years in, You know, the average age in Uganda is about 35, and 80% of them, they are about 35, and all of them, they were born and grew up to be 35 under Museveni. Are you anticipating
Yeah,
that from Uganda?
it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time. You see, formerly there was is it a convention or whatever? I think was it something they passed a kind of a regulation that regulates that bars army from taking over power in any country, especially in Africa. But when these things are happening, these Kaki boys they tried it in Guinea, in a Burkina Faso the first time. They tried it in Guinea. They tried it in Mali. I think they tried it in most of these African countries, and nobody is speaking. And that will give way now for the heavyweights to come in. And as we are talking, don't take my word for it, Nigeria should be careful. The politicians in Nigeria, the leaders in Nigeria in this democracy must be careful with what they are doing as well. Because these people are
Would it
just
be a good
looking, they are
thing or a
feeling the
bad thing?
pulse.
Would it be a good thing or a bad
It
thing
is
in
going to
Nigeria?
be, it is a bad thing, my brother. It is a bad thing. But if you are so intoxicated with power that you cannot deliver on the constitutional mandate given to you, what is your use there? What is your use there? My brother, is there even in the military regime, has Nigerians been murdered the way they murdered in this particular regime? No. When the military were there, that do not the military that don't even rule with a constitution but decree, were people Nigerians killed? Were foreigners coming to Nigeria to kill people? No, it has never happened. But it is happening in this very one. There are things that has happened in Nigeria. If they happen in other countries, it will bring out some, the devil in most of the people. But Nigerians are so calm. In fact, they are just looking up to God and see what
Is it
I'm
calm or
praying all
docile?
the time to see
Is
what
it?
God.
Are you being polite? Is it
They are
calm
just
or
but
docile?
calm, and they
Are
are
we
just
docile?
docile. They are just docile, and they have been beaten to the ground. They have no power anymore. When they come out, they use state actors to deal with them. They create fear, intimidate them into accepting whatever anybody said to them. This is what is going on in that country. You cannot come out to express your civil disobedience based on what is happening on the ground. The economic situation alone in Nigeria is enough to bring people out. But when they think of what they are going to do to them, everybody goes back into their cocoon.
Do you think that Lekki toll gate experience has effectively stymied
I'm losing you.
uh, effectively do you think people after Lekki toll gate? Vin.
Come again. Come again.
Oh,
I
sorry.
didn't get the.
No. I think I dipped out. I always dip out anytime I'm trying to check my stocks or whatnot. I was saying, do you think what happened at Lekki Toll Gate will be sufficient? Would have stymied, killed off any sense of rebellion or revolt within the Nigerian space? People too scared now to come out, just off the back of what they saw transpire. People killed and disappeared.
Yeah, one man from the bottom of my heart, my own opinion, I would tell you yes. 60%. It has taken Nigeria aback and create fear into them from coming out at a level of 60 to 70%. That's how I would put it.
All right. Um, we're in a funny space in Africa
Honestly,
at the
honestly.
moment, because that we thought we'd seen the back of this, because usually it happens in the bigger countries and then it cascades through the smaller countries. But now
Mm,
it's happening in the smaller countries and it's getting
yes.
to the bigger and bigger countries. Somebody is anticipating Cameroon, we're all anticipating Uganda, and
Mm,
before you know it, half the AU meeting, they are in Kaki and the other half in Agbada. So this is
yeah.
where we're headed to again in Africa. But certainly we are not moving anywhere from the same spot in Nigeria. Thieves ransacked Arik aircraft at Lagos
Wonderful.
airport. They stole the control, the brain box of they just at the airport. Oh, and this wasn't a part. This was a functioning aircraft that was
Tarmac, in the tarmac.
yes, it was scheduled to fly. So it wasn't parked because it was a scheduled to fly aircraft. They went in and took out the brain box, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. What are you making of that? An
One man, you
international
see,
airport.
in as much as I will call it, stealing or thievery, I will still maintain maybe a certain level of sabotage, just to sabotage Eric Air. That is what I suspect there.
You think so?
Because yeah, I think so, because I tend to believe, because how can someone enter into a very secure, unless that tarmac is not properly secured, there are no CCTV that can fish out all this. Look, my brother, 2 weeks ago, when I went to the port, that is our seaport here, to clear 2 vehicles that I just brought in. When I
Look
went
at
there
this
to
guy.
clear,
You're living large, oh, look at this
not
guy.
like it
Eh?
was people that asked me to bring the cars for them, then I deliver to them. That's what I
Oh,
do.
okay.
Now, when I went there, the Toyota Corolla 2017 model, 2 of them that I brought, I went into the car park where the cars are being stored for safety. Before you now go pay your necessary listen, then you go there, then they move your car. The operatives will move your car. The self-bond operatives will move your car and send it to the exit gate. I went there just to take the pictures. Before I raised my phone to take pictures, I was warned not to take pictures. I cannot even find out where the cameras were. I cannot. They say if I take any pictures there, that was what they were announcing to me, that I'll be made to pay a spot fine of 5,000 Ghana cedi, which is almost $1,000. $1,000. So I do not know a country like Nigeria in that big facility, modern facility, I should say, will not have CCTV cameras monitoring every angle of that place. Then who are we? What are we doing? What are we doing? I heard you when you are reading when you are reading out this and that. Even in the car park, they are stealing things from in the car park
You
in
know,
the same airport. My goodness.
it's unbelievable. But you are right. The sources, industry sources, are saying this suddenly is not just some casual thief, because they're saying you need a level of expertise to be able to
Yeah.
unbuckle, and it's not screwdriver work now.
The-
It's
the-
brain
These
work.
are these are these are
So
these are aviation.
yeah,
These are
yeah,
people in aviation system that
yeah,
knows what it is and how to easily remove those
yeah.
special parts fitted in
So
those
yeah,
aircrafts.
so if not an aeronautical engineer, certainly an aeronautical technician. So somebody of a level of learning has to be able to is the only person that is able to do that. You know,
Exactly.
it's just
Exactly.
it's unbelievable.
Exactly.
We're living in a funny country. You know, it's just
Nigeria,
weird.
Nigeria is in a very big mess.
Yeah.
It's just a very big mess. We need a savior in that country. We need a savior in that country. So
But
that at
Vin,
least when we go back home, we'll feel relaxed. At least we'll feel relaxed. Not when you go home, you are walking, you are looking at your eyes is on your shoulder. You are as if to watch if somebody is coming behind you.
But Vin, we've been in that trouble for a very long time. Let me take you back 23 years and what happened there that still continues to generate controversy. How
Yeah.
Abiola died, of course. Everybody have their own version of what played out. Abdulsalami gave us his not that long ago, exonerating himself as you would expect him to. But then the Abiola family comes out again to point the finger at him. All of them living within that elite space in Nigeria. So, what are you making of this never ending story of the mystery of Abiola and the countless mysteries that we have in Nigeria, Delegiwa, Bolaige, etc.? So, what are you making of the back and forth between the
Yeah,
Abiola family and
let me tell you. You see, I when you see, the fact is this: the only person, the tell you what happened to Mustafa as he was called that time. And the doctor, I think Lieutenant Colonel at that time, Yakase. These are the people that can tell you what happened to Abiola, because as long as CSO Al Mustafa was, too close to Abiola, taking care of Abiola. In fact, so in contrast in contrast with what other people were saying when during the Opota panels. You see, when you listen to the CSO, he was my boss. When you listen to him, you will see some, level of, let me just say, truth and sincerity in what he was telling the people. He is going to be in a better position to tell Nigerians and the world how that man, died. That's number one. Number two, the doctor that was taking care of Abiola also will be in a position to know what really happened then. And I will tell you again, based on the attitude and the behavior of Pa Abiola's late Pa Abiola's family, I expected that they should conduct an independent autopsy that will show why and how the man was killed, whether it is as a result of chemicals or whatever. Because if you go there and see those ones that visited him that time, he was, despite that he had medical, issues, he was healthy. He was very, very healthy. So I do not know the reason why he will die the way he died. That is why the only way. In fact, when people suggested to the family to do an independent autopsy, but they said it is disrespecting to the dead according to their religion. And that is where it went. You understand? So I would have loved the family to conduct an independent autopsy that will show the world what actually killed that great man. I called him a great man and a martyr. He was killed out of what he believed and the mandate Nigerian people gave him. One man.
Where's
Yes.
the battle from?
What did you say, Charles?
Where's the battle from? Where's he from in Nigeria?
Abiola.
Yeah.
You see, this is what I'm saying now, Charles. You are not in Nigeria now, Charles. It's from Yoruba land. Yeah,
Okay.
it's from Yoruba land. So he should have been president, but they killed him. Yes, thank you, Vin. So Vin, let's now sample Charlie Boy, who now seems to have now sorted out his system. So Charles, are you with us now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So to you then, Charles. Nigeria ranks 154 out of 180 countries on corruption index. So this is it now. And every single year, this is from Transparency International. Every single year they come out, they bring out that report. Nigeria drops another level, it drops another level. And Buhari, of course, was brought in to come and tackle and end in corruption, especially in Nigeria, and insecurity more so. So none of those two things now, the marquee banners under which it's coming has been affected positively, and in fact they have regressed. So what are you then making of that, Charles? Nigeria 154 out of 180 of corrupt countries.
I think the politician should make it Nigeria should both go up, not down in corruption. They should make it a way to make it Nigeria less in corruption. Because people stealing money. Everyone want to become president or the government are all stealing money. They're using the pocket. So we should find a way to make it better.
All right.
And to me, that's kind of sad. But a country like Nigeria, a big country, be the most corrupt country in the world. That's sad.
Nigeria has always been notoriously corrupt. Even the British Prime Minister said it was fantastically corrupt. You think of Nigeria, and the first word anybody internationally will tell you is corruption.
I don't know how countries work with Nigeria. I don't know how they do it.
Because it's so rich. You know, there's just a lot to take from there, and you take it easily. All you have to do is bribe a few abokis, a few, dan laddies, and that's all you need to do.
That's basically what China is doing in Nigeria, basically.
Yes. It's a real tragedy, is it not, Charlie boy?
Yeah. China would go to Nigeria, take out the gold, and fly off, and no one knows about it.
It's quite a thing. It carries on in the airport authority, but I think maybe the same thought on that. What are you making, Charles, of thieves going onto an international airport where a plane is waiting to be called to ferry passengers, and they go and steal the brain box of that? This happened in Nigeria.
Wow.
What are you making of thieves going to scavenge and dismantle aircrafts right in open glare at an international airport in Nigeria? Only in Nigeria.
To me, that's very dangerous. A terrorist could easily come to the airport and steal the plane and fly off. That's very dangerous. From the airport, it's put security, so nobody go on the plane. That's very dangerous. And tell people in America, you usually have a gate. You must put your fingerprint before you go into the airport. If you have in Nigeria, you put your fingerprint to know who you are, where you're from, your boat, so you know that you're not a criminal going to steal a plane. If you have that in Nigeria, a system where you can just put a fingerprint. That's why they don't have that in Nigeria. They should have that.
Oh, all right. Okay, Charles. I'm not sure. Okay, you don't even know who Abiola is. So, yeah, so thank you, Charles. We'll reconvene in the evening. Hopefully, we'll have you around as well. And thank you, Vin, as well, for your insightful input, which is always the case. So that's been the session. What are you doing? It says, your comment is in the private chat, Vin. I think you intended this for Rosalind. So let me.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah. So that's yes. I hope you are not coming here to toast babes. So this
No, man.
Rosalind is a married woman. What is wrong with you?
She answered.
You like better thing, Abi?
No, she answered my in-laws name. The third son of my mom married from a particular family they call Abengwe. In Igbo land they call them Abengwe, but the white people corrupted it and called them Abengwe. So I do not know whether she is listening at the background. I would have loved to know whether she's my in-law.
All right. Okay. So that's a question for you, Rosalind. So next time you come, address that. Vin was to know.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you for what you are doing, my brother.
All right. So we reconvene for later. So I leave it there. Carry the conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say, peace.